Okay, good evening, everyone. If you could please go ahead and take your seats. We are going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to call this meeting to order, the meeting of the Wiseburn Unified School District Board of Trustees for Thursday, April 16th, 2026 at 6:04 p.m. You? Okay, great. One more. Wendy, would you please proceed and take roll call?
Dr. Goldman.
Present.
Jackie.
Present.
Present. Mr. Bentley.
Present. Thank you. Next, we are going to go to the pledge, and I'm going to ask my colleague, Michelle, if she could please lead us in the pledge.
I have the beer for it.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For those following online, we are on item 3.3 for report on actions taken during closed session. We do not have any items to report as the board did not take any action in closed session. On to section 4.1 for the adoption of our agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. We're moving on to section 5.1. We have a special presentation for Da Vinci Connect material revision. And our speakers are from Da Vinci Schools. So I believe it's Ms. Rainey. For your presentation, we have 15 minutes. So we're looking forward to your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, President Benuelos, Superintendent Dr. Silvers, members of the board, and members of the community. My name is Michelle Rainey, and I support curriculum and instruction at Da Vinci Schools. And I'm here tonight to request that you approve the Da Vinci Connect charter material revision that would allow us to operate Da Vinci Rise as part of the portfolio of Wiseburn plus Da Vinci Schools. I want to begin with gratitude and acknowledgement and a commitment. First, thank you. Wiseburn has supported Da Vinci Schools for nearly 2 decades, and we recognize that partnership requires ongoing time, trust, and care. Second, an acknowledgement. When we brought forth this material revision, we did not provide the level of clarity or completeness that you deserved. In trying to streamline the process, we created more ambiguity and more work for you. That was a mistake. And third, a commitment to transparency, to accountability, and to building a stronger, more aligned partnership moving forward. I appreciate Dr. Silver's openness to continued collaboration, and I'm committed to doing this work together in a way that is clear and responsible. We know you believe in the human interest story of RISE, but tonight's presentation will outline the more technical aspects of a material revision presentation. I also know that many of you know me as co-founder of Da Vinci Connect. I have been thoroughly involved in the RISE reauthorization process and have fully vetted and included Connect leadership in this decision. We also understand your responsibility as an authorizer to also vet this proposal, and that many of your questions mirror those outlined in the November 2023 LACO report. Los Angeles County Office of Education issued Da Vinci Rise a notice of concern across 5 areas: enrollment, attendance, assessment participation, graduation rates, and fiscal stability. We received that notice with clarity and urgency. In response, Rise implemented comprehensive system-wide plans addressing each of these. At the end of the notice, LACO stated that it is not clear whether Da Vinci Rise is on track to meet the criteria for charter renewal, and a hope that the board will take immediate action. This moment became a turning point. It established a clear baseline for accountability and an opportunity to demonstrate measurable improvement. I wish to address an additional report called the Instructional Program Review that LACO issued in October 2025. In that report, LACO clearly stated the charter school is on target to meet renewal criteria as set forth in Ed Code 47607. However, the report then described RISE dashboard indicators without including growth made in the 24-25 school year. The very purpose of alternative metrics for a program like RISE was disregarded by not including growth and by issuing the report before CASP and graduation data was finalized by the state. The report also indicated that the original charter petition sought to operate at least 5 learning sites and serve 600 students across LA County, but as of 23-24 only operated 2. RISE made a strategic decision to hone its practice knowing that data, also contained in the report, showed significantly less transiency between locations and longer length of enrollment than initially anticipated for this student population. While we perceived reducing to 2 campuses a positive strategy, LACO noted it as RISE no longer being eligible as a county-wide charter. This is a very big part of why we are seeking Wiseburn authorization. I'll also mention that in order to meet all required parts of the LACO charter petition, RISE submitted a 941-page petition, which we have since withdrawn. I promised at the beginning to be transparent about outcomes and to hold ourselves accountable. RISE is a dashboard alternative school status DOS school. Students do not enter at grade level and often face significant instability, including housing insecurity, gaps in enrollment, or prior disengagement from school. While DOS was designed to reflect these realities, RISE is still evaluated largely through traditional accountability metrics, in addition to an expanded set of alternative metrics. While the 2023 report states that all 23 metrics were, quote, mutually agreed upon by the charter school and its chartering authority, the county has since also acknowledged in multiple conversations that 5 to 7 metrics is a more reasonable number, and we can't renegotiate those until after renewing with all 6 California dashboard metrics and 17 DOS metrics in place. We are not asking to eliminate accountability for any or all of these, but to evaluate RISE by progress, not perfection, and a streamlined scope of metrics so that adequate efforts can be made towards each. Despite this complexity, our responsibility has remained the same: demonstrate growth, progress, and impact for students who need it most. Since the notice, RISE has demonstrated substantial improvement across key indicators on the California dashboard. English language arts improved by over 70 points from red to orange. Math improved by over 40 points, red to orange. English learner progress increased by over 11 percentage points. College and career indicator improved, red to orange. And graduation rates increased by over 16 percentage points. These are not incremental changes. They reflect meaningful academic progress within a short period of time. The notice did not emerge in isolation. It reflects the system-wide impact of COVID-19 disruptions from 2020 to 2021, when student engagement, attendance, and academic progress were significantly interrupted. By 2023, accountability systems resumed, and schools like RISE, serving the most impacted students, were among the first to surface those gaps. During the phased campus reopening, RISE students were among the slowest to restabilize, as they were also the least likely to have consistent access to stable home environments, resources, and support systems needed to successfully re-engage with school. Since then, we have significant progress to celebrate. Attendance increased from approximately 50 to 72%. Despite over 67% of RISE students entering the school habitually truant, Q1 chronic absenteeism decreased from 95% in fall of 2023 to 58% in fall of 2024. Of the 58% of chronically absent students in Q1, a third of them achieved attendance rates above 90% in future quarters. Assessment participation increased from roughly 35 to 40% to over 75%, with internal participation exceeding 85%. These shifts are critical because engagement is the foundation for all other outcomes. To fully understand these outcomes, it is important to understand who RISE serves. Over 2/3 of students enter habitually truant. More than 20% have significant enrollment gaps. 15% are recovered dropouts who were previously disengaged and have returned to their educational journey through RISE. And this is key. Nearly a quarter of these students enter with multiple high-risk factors, 4 or more. These are students who are often referred to RISE by counselors, social workers, probation officers, and neighboring schools, including our own Da Vinci schools. RISE exists to ensure these students do not fall through the cracks and have the opportunity to catch up and return to their school of origin or remain at RISE through graduation. Most unified school districts provide alternative education pathways, which RISE has served for our students for the past 9 years. Because RISE has been creating strong support systems for students over many years, all Da Vinci schools have benefited from this expertise when post-COVID realities have changed student needs across every campus. This includes multi-tier supports, attendance and re-engagement protocols, staff role clarity and accountability, real-world learning and CTE pathways, assessment and progress monitoring, restorative practices contributing to positive school culture and a sense of belonging. In areas where many schools are still struggling and where challenges are often even greater for young people who haven't fit in traditional systems, Da Vinci RISE has achieved exceptional results, scoring above 93% across major school climate indicators. There has also been growth in financial stability. While RISE required additional investment in its early years, its ADA and staffing have now stabilized. The program is financially viable and supported through a combination of state funding and philanthropic partnerships. Just as importantly, RISE has expanded our network's capacity to serve high-need students. This program adds value to our system. It does not detract from it. RISE originally began as a Wiseburn authorized school in 2017. Our decision to move to countywide authorization was driven by the Shasta case, not by a desire to leave the Wiseburn Da Vinci partnership. Since then, our partnership with WIOA, the Workforce Investment Opportunity Act, and the South Bay Workforce Investment Board, and our incoming partnership with Youth Build reinstates original geographic flexibility, allowing us to return to authorization under Wiseburn. Now, as we look forward, this request is about fit. The countywide model has created complexity and misalignment between alternative school realities and traditional accountability structures. Wiseburn, as a longstanding partner, is better positioned to provide aligned oversight, clear expectations, and a more coherent organizational structure. We believe RISE belongs within the Da Vinci Connect Charter under Wiseburn's authorization. RISE has already had meaningful impact within the Wiseburn community. There are 8 students currently enrolled, 25 graduates who likely would have dropped out otherwise, and 58 Wiseburn students who have been served. Many of them have returned to other educational systems, including our own schools. In order to understand this option, we began examining the implications of our Youth Build partnership and the importance of geographic flexibility. To briefly explain, I'd like to introduce Greta Proctor.
Good evening, trustees, Dr. Silvers, and members of the public. My name is Greta Proctor, and I'm legal counsel for Da Vinci Schools. I'm the leader of the Education Practice Group at Procopio, and I represent hundreds of LEAs and charter schools throughout the state on new charters, renewal petitions, and material revisions. Da Vinci deeply values Wiseburn's longstanding stewardship as authorizer. This request for material revision is not made lightly. Considerable time, care, research, and expense has gone into this material revision request. Da Vinci has carefully considered your questions. The team here tonight wants to work collaboratively with Dr. Silvers and the Wiseburn Board and continue the conversations of the past months. At its core, this request is about organizational coherence and better accountability. Consolidating the Da Vinci Charter programs under a single authorizer is a legally vetted path that reduces fragmented oversight systems and increases transparency through one aligned partnership with Wiseburn. I want to be direct about the charter landscape, particularly in counties where urban districts are experiencing enrollment declines. Authorizing has become increasingly politicized and unstable. The metrics that are applied by county reviewers, especially for DAS schools, can be cherry-picked. They can be confused with the traditional metrics for traditional schools, and they do not always reflect the reality of what these alternative education programs are doing for their community. Many county offices of education now also prefer to see charters locally authorized. That is one of the reasons Da Vinci is here tonight. But Da Vinci is here for a number of reasons. County authorization has changed, yes, but Da Vinci has also learned more about the needs of the RISE program, the students, the right partnerships, and where the RISE program strengths really lie. And everything is driving back to local authorization. Now onto the legal pathway. After the Shasta case, a charter school that's authorized by a school district is generally required to operate within the authorizer's geographic boundaries, but charter schools that operate in exclusive partnership with any of the programs that are listed in Ed Code 47605.1F are exempt from the geographic site restrictions. Those programs include WIOA, Youth Build, Job Corps, and others. The law is clear. Da Vinci is proposing that RISE operate exclusively in partnership with the programs that are listed under Ed Code. That structure is what allows RISE to be locally authorized by Wiseburn, while operating certain sites outside of Wiseburn's attendance boundaries. This is expressly permitted in Ed Code 47605.1F, and there is a critical safeguard. Only students who participate in the Youth Build programs will be served at the out-of-boundary sites. Connect students who do not participate in Youth Build, WIOA, or the like will continue to be served at sites within Wiseburn's boundaries. The geographic flexibility is legally permissible and clear-cut and tightly controlled by law. The Youth Build relationship is between Da Vinci and Youth Build, not Wiseburn. So this material revision does not create any additional legal exposure for the Wiseburn School District, and that protection dovetails with the protection that your board already has under Ed Code 47604 for authorizers of independent charter schools. Da Vinci has submitted a comprehensive material revision memorandum, a Q&A, and supporting documentation, and that submission clarifies that this revision would be coterminous with the existing Connect Charter terms, so this does not extend the life of the Connect Charter. We believe that you and the district's attorneys have everything that you need, and the team is here to answer any remaining questions. One note, as legal counsel, we did prepare a full standalone charter petition, and Da Vinci made the deliberate choice not to submit it to your board at this time to seek RISE authorization, because doing so would have triggered statutory timelines that could have boxed this board into a procedural corner and forced you to act within prescriptive timelines. Instead, we are here tonight because Da Vinci chose the material revision path, the collaborative path, and the path that puts the ball squarely in your court. I want to highlight last, because I heard a timer, that this is not a material. One more second. This is not a material revision request that I do frequently around the state where we're asking an authorizer to rely on promises made by the charter school. This is a program that has been field tested for, I believe, 9 years that is seeking to come home to its original authorizer. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation today. Thank you for your presentation today. We are going to move on to the public hearing portion and I'll read the action item here. Notice of public hearing is request for material revision to Da Vinci Connect Charter petition for the inclusion of Da Vinci RISE as a component of Da Vinci Connect's program. We do have 2 items on the agenda. We have the public hearing, but we also have an opportunity within our agenda for people that would like to have comment on agendaized items. So in the interest of time, but also to ensure that everybody has an opportunity that is provided a card. I actually have 8 cards here, and usually our speakers receive 3 minutes for their public comments. We have allotted 20 minutes for the public hearing. However, I would like to extend that to 24 minutes, unless, Wendy, we have anybody online that would like to have a comment, then maybe I didn't have to kind of redo my math here as we go through this.
We have one. Oh, sorry, two.
Do we hear 3?
So then we're gonna do 2 minutes. Yeah. So I think what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and read off the names, and Wendy, since we have 10, we're gonna allow 2 minutes per person on each, for their comment. So I ask that you do consolidate. If you prepare for 3 minutes, please plan on 2 minutes so that we can get everybody's comments in and everybody has an opportunity to address the board. Okay.
Two that are on Leslie, or Sheeper.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take in order that I received these. So in terms of the public comment and the folks that are here today. So the first person is Naomi Lara.
Is this during the public hearing right now? So maybe
Yeah, we need to open the public hearing.
Okay. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and officially open the public hearing at 6:25 p.m. And like I said, we've allotted the 20 minutes, and we're just going to go through in order of which we received the cards, and 2 minutes apiece, please. I do ask that you look over at the timer so that we can give everybody ample time.
two, but I have it here.
Mine is.
Great. So our first speaker is Naomi Lara, and obviously the topic is Da Vinci Rise.
Good evening, Board President Banuelos, trustees, and Superintendent Silvers. My name is Naomi Lara, and I have the honor of serving as principal of Da Vinci Rise High School. I want to begin by thanking you for your time, your thoughtful consideration, and the responsibility you carry in making decisions that impact students and communities. I genuinely appreciate the care and attention you're bringing to this process. I also want to briefly introduce myself and extend an open invitation for you to visit our campus. As a principal, what matters most to me is creating learning environments where students and staff feel seen, challenged, and supported. And I would value the opportunity for you to see that work firsthand and share your perspective as we continue to grow. Lastly, I'm especially grateful that you'll be hearing tonight from one of our incredible staff members and from 2 of our students who are also Wiseburn residents. As a principal, there's nothing more important to me than elevating student voice, and I'm really looking forward to you hearing directly from their experiences. Thank you again for your time and your service.
Our next speaker is Matthew Nunez. Welcome.
Good evening, esteemed Wiseburn Board and members of the community. My name is Matthew Nunez, and I serve as a teacher at Da Vinci Rise. I am also a proud resident of the community and alumnus of the Da Vinci Schools. I'm speaking tonight not just from the perspective of an educator, but as a deeply invested member of this community who sees our students every single day. I'm here to advocate for the continued support of our hybrid independent study program. RISE deeply understands the importance of standard measures of school success, such as test scores and graduation rates, and we are committed to continuous improvement in these areas while serving our unique population. However, we must also consider the students for whom the traditional classroom environment is simply not a good fit. For years, we've had students, whether they are working part-time to support their families, dealing with health issues, or simply thriving in a less rigid self-paced structure, who have felt unseen and unsupported in our traditional school models. RISE's independent study program has become a lifeline for them. It's an issue of equity. It provides the flexibility and individualized attention that allows these students who are otherwise falling through the cracks to stay engaged, earn credits, and find academic success on their own terms. We are not just offering an alternative. We are offering a pathway to graduation for students who were previously marginalized. This program leverages technology while still maintaining essential in-person check-ins, holistic guidance, and community connection. I urge you to look beyond the general statistics and see the specific transformative impact this program has on individual students' lives. Continuing to invest in and refine the RISE model is an investment in the diverse needs of our entire student body. I thank you for your time and for your consideration.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Patricia Cedarfront. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Or at least close. Welcome. Yes.
Hello, my name is Patricia Seidenfrau, and I am one of the students from Da Vinci Rise, and I live in Wiseburn, and I have lived here since I was 9 years old, and I'm here to advocate for my school. I attended ANZA, Dana, and I used to be a student of Da Vinci Design. And as a student of bad mental health problems, 5 days a week was really hard for me. I made excuses not to go because every day I was just so burnt out, which led me to the online program just to find my way to Da Vinci Rise. I had the mindset I'm just going to keep to myself, not talk to anyone, do everything I need to do to be able to graduate. And so I really got to know all the lovely staff members. And to me, they aren't just staff members at a school I go to. They are people that I'm excited to see. People that don't let me go. People that don't let me go through a hard day by myself. Da Vinci Rise has shown me that it is okay to ask questions. It is okay not to be okay. And it is okay to reach out when I feel lost in life. In January of last year, my ex-boyfriend sadly passed away, and I didn't attend school for 2 months. But as soon as I got back to school, they didn't try to make me feel bad for missing assignments or make me feel like I can't catch up. But instead, they stayed by my side and helped me through everything. On the hard days, all I had to do was look at them, and they just knew I wasn't okay. They checked on me every day. After that, Da Vinci Rise is truly such a safe and welcoming school, and in my opinion, every single staff member has treated me as family. The security guard window has always shown up for me, has let me cry in his arms before when I didn't feel well. And my two principals, Miss Naomi and Jonathan, I really got to know them. And they are the type of people that will always make you feel welcome. And they have always just let me sit in their office and have a conversation about the most random stuff. They always check up on students and always try and understand that some students have a hard day. And my teachers, every single one of them, has never left my questions unanswered. They have always shown me that sometimes you need to be able to ask questions to pass an obstacle. And they always try to make sure that their students understand everything that they are taught. And last but not least, some of the other amazing staff members, starting off with Rob and Jelena. They have always been there for me, even when I just need a simple reminder that everything is going to be okay. Now Kareem and Miss Nicole. They are both like parents to me. Anytime I have boy drama, I can go to them about it, even when they don't want to hear about it. When my ex passed away, they were right there with opened arms, even when it was hard for me to talk about, and I could go on and on about all these amazing people because they have gotten me out of a hole that I never wanted to get out of. And that is why you guys should give Da Vinci Rise a right to be able to continue to make us teenagers the people we are meant to be. I am a Wiseman resident, and I hope more Wiseman students have the opportunity to experience the type of love and support that Da Vinci Rise has given me the past 2 years. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Carrie Fitzgerald.
Hello, thank you for having me here and letting me speak. It is a great honor. My name is Carrie Fitzgerald. I am an adult student and student ambassador for Da Vinci Rise. I have been a Wiseburn resident my whole life, from attending Juan de Anza, Dana Middle School, and Da Vinci as a whole for high school. I started out here at Da Vinci Communications for freshman year, but sadly, due to mental health and substance abuse issues, I dropped out. And for about a year, I did not go to school until I discovered RISE. When I discovered RISE, I immediately enrolled, but it was not all sunshine and rainbows like everybody said it would be. It was tough. I had the staff constantly pushing me to be the best version of myself, even if I didn't want to be the best version. They saw and still see something in me that I can't always see, but I appreciate it. Sadly, when I turned 18, I thought that I had the world in my hands, and I dropped out. And my life just continued to spiral from there. But luckily, something came to me and told me, let me reach out to Naomi, my principal. I reached out to her, and with open arms, she took me back, and I immediately enrolled into this school year. Because of RISE, I will be able to graduate this June and go to junior college. I didn't think I'd ever be able to do that. And honestly, without RISE, I don't think I'd be alive standing here talking to all of you. To me, RISE isn't just a school or statistics or about learning and just teaching. RISE is a lifeline. Like I said, I don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for RISE. Every day I come in and it's all smiles, whether you want a hug, a fist bump, the staff and students are there for you. If you have a bad day, that's okay. You can just try again the next day. It doesn't matter. They'll always be there for you. But that's okay. Yeah. I'm okay. Thank you. Because of the amazing staff and RISE itself, I get a second chance at life at 22 years old, and I'm forever grateful for it. And I hope with my fellow TA, who's now a history teacher, and my fellow classmate, Patricia, we help convince you that RISE deserves to be a part of the Wiseburn School District. Thank you so much for your time.
The next speaker is Christina Jobert. I think I pronounced that one right.
Thank you. Thank you for holding this session and allowing us the opportunity to speak. I'm here tonight to request that this board authorize DaVinci Rise to become a part of the Wiseburn family. I stand before you as a resident and as someone who is alive today because I had a school like Rise when I was a teenager. Okay. To illustrate, I had to cut out a whole bunch in between because y'all cut my minutes, so I'm just going to jump to the other part. To illustrate how much a school like Rise can matter in a young person's life, I want to share a bit about my story. When I was 14 years old, I was a crystal meth addict. I stopped attending school. I was living on couches in drug houses, and at my worst, I was 72 pounds at 5'7" tall. When I was 17, I moved to Northern California to try and get clean, and I started at a little school there that was just like Rise. When I started at the school, I'd been clean for 2 weeks. The teachers, principal, superintendent, and the school board saved my life. They measured their success as a school, not by test scores, but by the outcomes they could create in the lives of kids. The wraparound support they gave me gave my life strategic direction. They started me in college before I finished high school and taught me life skills like how to balance a checkbook and how to manage finances. By 20 years old, I was living independently, completing my degree, and working full-time in the financial services industry despite never having successfully completed a single math class in high school. By 21, I was making more money than my mom raised us on. By 33, I was a vice president at a global firm. And for the last 13 years, I've dedicated my life to helping people and systems to change the patterns that create division, limitations, and suffering. It was that DaVinci Rise-like school that created a bridge between the life I led and the life I could lead, and now I build bridges like that for others. If I had the power to authorize their charter myself, I would do it. I'm the living example of what it's like when adults care more about the kids they can serve than the politics and rationales behind why they shouldn't. Our Wiseburn district is small enough to be nimble and to bring Rise under our shelter. We are small enough to build a sturdy bridge for these kids to walk safely upon. I believe we're each capable of adjusting our perspectives in order to measure the school's success by outcomes it creates in young people's lives, not by their test scores, and to proudly stand as differentiators on this. And most importantly, I believe we have a responsibility to give the school a home, the human responsibility, that kind that creates a more just and perfect world, the kind that uplifts the human spirit, and the kind that creates lasting legacies of love that reverberate across generations. Thank you.
Next speaker is Grace Bader.
Oh, wow, it's hard to follow those speeches. Thank you. Children are the world's most valuable resource and its greatest hope for the future. President John F. Kennedy. And after listening to those amazing speeches tonight from Christina and the students from DaVinci Rise, I think we can all see that that's true. Good evening. My name is Grace Bader, and I've been a Wiseburn resident for 18 years. I am here tonight not only as a longtime member of this community, but also as a nurse and a child advocate who has cared for babies and children in the foster care system, and as a proud aunt to a child who was once in the foster care system. I was his nurse at a facility not too far from this room. I witnessed firsthand the healing power of attention, care, and love, and I saw how resilient children are. My nephew was a foster kiddo until my amazing sister, who is also a longtime Wiseburn resident, adopted him. I clearly remember the day she first met him and said, "This is my child." He is now a graduating senior, and we're so proud of him. I'm speaking tonight because the students that are served by DaVinci Rise High School are just like the young people that I have cared for in my work, in my family, and in my community, right here in Wiseburn. Rise was created for students who have experienced foster care, homelessness, juvenile justice involvement, and major disruptions in their lives and in their education. These are young people who have already lived through instability, trauma, and constant change. For many of them, Rise is the first place that they feel safe, supported, and seen. It's not just a school, it's a family, it's a home. As someone who has worked directly with foster care youth, I can tell you that consistency and trust are everything. When a young person finally finds a stable environment that believes in them, you protect it and you strengthen it with everything you've got. You make sure it continues. And so that is why I'm asking you, the Wiseburn Unified School Board, to please rise to the occasion and reauthorize Rise in May. Please give our greatest resource and our best hope for the future, these amazing young people that you've met tonight, the stability to live happy and healthy lives. As a nurse, child advocate, an aunt, a neighbor, and as someone who has proudly called Wiseburn her home for nearly 2 decades, I'm asking you to please choose a path in May that protects their stability, their education, and a chance at a life that we wish for all of our children. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your continued commitment to all the students and families of the Wiseburn community. Thank you.
Next speaker, Lyda Jennings.
I was going to tell you all that I'm really proud to be a part of Rise, and you listened to those remarks, and I'm just even prouder. Good evening. Thank you to all of you, Superintendent Silvers, Board of Education, and community members for being here to talk about and think about Rise. My name is Lyda Jennings, and I lead Teach for America across Southern California. So working with districts from the northernmost point of LAUSD all the way down through El Cajon. I'm 35 years and way too much higher ed debt into my career, and very active in public education leadership roles across the county. I'll start with my punchline, which you won't be surprised at, and with hope and appreciation that you will approve the material revision that Michelle spoke to earlier. So in addition to my day job, I hold, like I said, several leadership roles in public education, including the one I value the most, which is to be chair of the Board of Trustees for DaVinci Rise. This is really my most important job, but don't tell my boss that. I'm very proud to also be an engaged and voting member of the Wiseburn community, and I'm grateful for the work you all do for kids and families every single day. I'm also proud and grateful for our students, our teachers, and our school leaders at DaVinci Rise. The first thing that comes to mind when I talk about Rise is safety. Students feel safe at Rise, and there aren't many things more important than ensuring our most at-risk youth feel safe so that they can move forward with velocity to succeed in school and in post-secondary pursuits, so they can lead lives of true choice, change their families' trajectories, and engage in meaningful and important ways with our local economy. Rise is about exceptional young people, many of you have just met tonight, like all Wiseburn schools. We are a story of high engagement, high support, and high impact with increased math, ELA, and attendance results year over year. We are about workforce development. And like all of us here, we are adults playing leadership roles with and for kids who have been failed by many who have come before us. Our job tonight, and I speak as a member of this entire collective, is to focus on Rise as a significant contributor to our district. When we support the full spectrum of students, all students and their families and our community benefit. I'm very grateful for your leadership and appreciative of your time tonight, and I remain committed to my focus on Rise as part of the education foundation that supports all DaVinci schools. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Jessica Doherty.
You said that right.
I don't even know how to say it.
Timer. All right. Hi. Thank you for having us. Thank you, neighbors and board members. My name is Jessica Doherty, and I'm a Wiseburn resident and parent of 2 Wiseburn students. What you might not know is that for my day job, I lead a social impact policy consulting firm called Cause Impacts. So across the county and city and state and nation, I often am hired by educational organizations, municipalities, or companies to help them create programs for opportunity youth to help make sure they increase the positive outcomes of those people. In 2017, I helped start DaVinci Rise. They came to me and said, what kind of wraparound support should we create for these students to make sure they have successful outcomes? So I did what any statistical nerd or policy analyst would do. I wanted to find comparative analyses and studies and schools that I could look to, a comparative data set. They don't exist. So if you look at one report and try to find the comparative data set they're in, if you look at the California Department of Education or other different data sets, there's not schools that serve the same type of students as DaVinci Rise, not the same acuity, not the same number of students with different barriers and challenges. So given that they don't exist, you have to look to other metrics. How are they doing along other things that you saw in Michelle's presentation? But also, I just want to share the fact that in my day job, I hear about DaVinci Rise as a model program all the time. You can see the slide that shows the different awards and you know about those awards, but I constantly hear about them from the LA County Probation Department, who's a former client of mine, from the City of Los Angeles Youth Development Department, from Los Angeles County's various departments. They often look to Rise as a program that really has found out how to crack the code to serve opportunity youth. And so DaVinci Rise has won those awards for a reason. So you can't really look to one stat to really figure out how it's done. The fact that DaVinci Rise has a 0% expulsion rate, that's extremely noteworthy. Looking at other schools that serve similar populations, the expulsion rate is at least 10% typically. Also looking at the fact that the graduation rates have gone up in ELA scores and math scores, especially given the fact that you look from COVID times to now, it's gone up so much. So please reconsider DaVinci Rise. That would be noteworthy as well. Thanks.
Our next speaker is online, and Jason, if you could bring up Laura Schaefer.
Oh, thank you. I want that.
Is there a visual image, or is it just? Okay, Laura, are you able to start? Speak. Welcome.
Looks like she's muted. Oh, there she goes.
Looks like she's unmuted.
Laura, you can start if you can hear us. Everything on your end, Jason? Good? Just audio not coming. It sounds like she's maybe muted.
She's unmuted. She's unmuted.
Maybe she should call them again.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's switch over to Leslie Heimoff, and then we can come back to Laura.
Board members.
Hello?
Great.
Okay.
Welcome.
I can't, I don't know if you can see me, but something happened and I can no longer see you. But nonetheless, hopefully I'm looking right. My name is Leslie Heimoff. I come to you wearing about a half a dozen hats tonight. I am a DaVinci board member. I'm a Wiseburn resident. I actually moved to Wiseburn so my younger child could attend DaVinci schools. I'm an attorney, and I'm, as I mentioned, the parent of a DaVinci graduate. I have dedicated my entire career, nearly 40 years, working with and on behalf of children and families, in particular, children and families impacted by child abuse and neglect. So the 24% of RISE students who have experienced foster care are all my clients. The children I represent come from varied backgrounds. They have complex needs and sadly are often not well served by systems set up to help them thrive. On occasion, though, we encounter a program where our clients, the children who have been abused and neglected, not only feel safe, but actually thrive. RISE is one of those programs. A school where kids who have been forgotten, kids who have been given up upon, find hope, confidence, and a meaningful path to stability, employment, and more. Similar to what the last speaker mentioned, I spent a lot of time in various meetings around the county, around the state, and nationally. And I would say 3 or 4 times a year, I find myself in a room where I assume no one has even heard of RISE. There is no direct connection to RISE. And then I hear somebody either mention a fabulous program at RISE or an accolade that they've recently learned or an experience that they've had as another child serving organization and that makes them so impressed with RISE. I share that because it's come to my attention recently. Oh my God. I think I just got kicked out. Oh no, I'm here. Okay, it looked like I got kicked out of the webinar. I'm so sorry. I share that because it's come to my attention recently that there's at times I think a different perception of RISE within the school system and externally in other child serving communities, such as the child welfare system, the departments of behavioral health, et cetera. Today I'm with you remotely because I'm at a national meeting called Children in the Crosshairs, and the entire day today all I could think about was how if more students around the country had access to a program like RISE, fewer children would be in the crosshairs. Thank you.
Jason, can you please try to go back to Laura, see if we can get her back? Yes. She's on. She's unmuted. Is the volume just low, perhaps? Laura, can you hear us? Sounds like a movie or something, but
Can you hear me now?
can she message you on the chat or something to see?
That's Leslie.
She can see that you want to give her an opportunity to give her comments.
Thank you very much for your patience.
Hey, how about I put you on speakerphone and up to the mic and you'll just read? Of course.
Great.
It's all good. Tech happens. Hold on. Okay, Laura, you got it. We can all hear you now.
Okay. Well, good evening.
Wait, I lied. Hold on.
Put on speaker.
She's on speaker.
Hello. Turn it louder. Because Matt's phone on speaker. Now try again.
Try again.
Hello.
Hey, welcome, Laura.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Wiseburn board members and members of the community. My name is Laura Schaefer. I serve as the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and COO of Pitzer College, which is one of the Claremont colleges. I'm a CPA and I have over 30 years of experience in accounting and financial management. I'm also a Da Vinci board member, a Da Vinci Design parent, and a proud member of the Wiseburn community. I'm with you tonight in strong support of the RISE program, and I want to speak directly to the financials. Given my professional background, I approach this with a high level of scrutiny, and I have reviewed and validated the financial model for RISE. And I want to be very clear. The program is financially sound. The budget is balanced and includes a healthy reserve or savings of approximately $900,000. That level of reserve provides stability flexibility, and the ability to respond thoughtfully to students' needs. That reserve represents 3 to 6 months of operating costs of RISE, which is within an ideal range. The program also leverages multiple funding sources, including state and federal funding, as well as grants and donations. While grants and donations may be less common in traditional public school systems, they are standard and expected in charter schools like RISE and the Da Vinci schools, as well as in nonprofits, private schools, and higher education institutions like the one that I work in. Diversified revenue streams are a strength. They allow programs to enhance what they can offer to students. Importantly, the model has been built to be sustainable based on enrollment alone. So the management has taken care of to ensure that the program can stand on its own financially. And then the grants and donations serve to enhance the program, not sustain the program. In the past 5 years, there was 1 year of financial loss. However, it was covered by reserves or savings. This is quite normal, particularly post-pandemic when there's been a lot of rapid change in our country. At its core, this is about who we are as a community. Supporting RISE means supporting students who have had it harder than most. It means recognizing that not every student starts from the same place, and that a strong community steps in to ensure every student has a path forward. And this is what our community does. We take care of everyone. So for these reasons, I offer my full confidence in the financial integrity of the program and my strong endorsement for the continuation of RISE. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I believe Ms. Schaefer is at LAX, so thank you for your.
That explains a lot. Well, thank you, everyone. That concludes all of the speaker cards for public comment on the Da Vinci RISE material revision to be added to Connect. Since it is a public hearing, I will give an opportunity, as is part of the procedure, for our board members or colleagues, if they have any questions at this time, to ask of, in this case, of our presenter, Ms. Michelle Rainey, or Da Vinci staff.
Michelle, a question for you. I wasn't clear on your presentation
That means
about.
I wasn't clear.
No. I think I heard you say you withdrew from LACO admission and no longer qualify for LACO admission to authorization.
We believe that their requirement for us to have multiple and growing sites throughout LA County, that is not an interest that we have to continue on that path. And so we don't believe that we would be qualified, and we chose to withdraw the petition.
And then one.
It's on the same topic.
Sure, please.
Just want to make sure that I'm clear with that, because that is a big decision, given that this board hasn't decided, right? And we're still evaluating all the information that you've given us. I just want to make sure that I'm very clear on that. Da Vinci decided to withdraw that application to LACO without knowing the outcome of this decision from this board.
Correct.
There was another application that was submitted to Acton Agua Dulce. Was that one also pulled, or is that still in play?
Still in play.
Okay. And has Da Vinci I guess the other question, where else has Da Vinci potentially submitted these applications, whether it's for a charter? Well, I guess it would have to be a new charter. Is there other districts where Da Vinci has submitted to?
Just to Acton, and a material, that is a new petition, and then the material revision under Connect to You.
Okay. Please, Neil.
The story uses the term barriers, somebody used that term. I think you mentioned there are 4 or what, I'm getting at who are the students that are served?
Yeah. So there, I don't know that we want to spend the time going back to the slides, but the RISE students have multiple barriers at place within their lives. And one of the statistics I mentioned is that 25% of the students have 4 or more of those barriers at play. Is that the one? Yeah. Mhm.
I'm naive to those barriers. I can
Yeah.
assume, but I don't want to do that.
I would love, if you don't mind, for me to ask either Aaron or Naomi to talk about some specifics.
So we have a slide that has all of them, but upwards of 60% come to us habitually truant. So that's the most significant barrier. We also have a large portion that Leslie Heimov referred to of foster youth. So that's upwards of 20%. Homeless youth, transient, pregnant parenting, young people coming to us with substance abuse challenges. So a lot of the student services population of young people. But there's also a slide for your reference that has the exact data points, most recent data points of those populations. And so to Michelle's point, many of them have 4 or more. And so they're not just one of those designations. They have multiple that lead their way to us through social service agencies, referrals, case managers, probation officers, because that's what we specialized in, is providing full wraparound services to handle all of those different competing kind of challenges.
Thank you.
Jason, did you put that up for them to go to the slide? I'm not sure which slide it is.
It's the one with all the colored bar, yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I appreciate the question. Yeah.
There we go.
This one here. So habitually truant, credit deficient, meaning they come in not on track for graduation. High transiency, meaning housing unstable, in foster care, having a 45-day or more gap in their education. And one of our students spoke to what that gap may look like. Being a recent dropout, being pregnant and or parenting while in school, homeless, suspended for 10 or more days, which often means other schools are pushing them out, or expelled from another school.
Thank you.
I think, Rebecca, you have another question?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. I would leave the slide, not this slide, but there is the slide about Wiseburn. Can you bring that one up? That I think it might be the next
Has a
one.
student on the left, I believe.
Very specifically says Wiseburn something.
Well,
Anyways,
we're-
I'll ask my question while you get there. Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify some of the data points on here, just so that I understand. I understand there are 8 Wiseburn. I want to make sure I understand that the 8 students are Wiseburn resident students that are right. Okay, so students who live in Wiseburn and would be eligible to go to, if we had a high school that was public, this would be their designated homeschool. Okay. I just want to make sure I understand that. And then the student profile piece at the bottom, is that about the Wiseburn students, or is that about the total? Okay.
Those are the percentages within the total 58 who have been
Within the
served.
58.
21% of those were special education.
Got it. Okay. Appreciate the clarification. Just so folks understand sort of the set. So for like K-8, we have 2,500 students, right? And then I'm not sure how many, Wiseburn eligible students are within the Da Vinci, 2,000 or so. I'm sure Matt could give that number, but just trying to get a sense of how many, like what the true impact is of the number of students that are within the Wiseburn boundaries that are served by the program. I also, just so you understand where my question's coming from, because as as a member of the Wiseburn board, I want to make sure that our resources are going to serve. Obviously, folks know that my, special interest is making sure that all of our students are served well and equally and all of those things. So, but I just wanted to make sure that we're, addressing a significant need within our population as we consider whether to add back in another program. So appreciate that. Secondarily, I guess, because it talks about special education students up here, we have our Success Learning Center program within Wiseburn. And so I'm just curious whether you see a relationship between Success Learning Center and RISE in terms of the populations that you're serving and how that program would potentially be impacted or not, or whether that has been considered as as a home, especially for the Wiseburn students that are identified here, because that program is also completely independent study, it's an independent study program and serves a special population that is not that dissimilar from many of the factors that you've identified here, not least of which is special education needs. So I just want to.
So we will in no way refute the importance of the work that Success Learning Center is doing. And the demographics of the students are different. Only 21% of the students that we have served from Wiseburn would even be potentially eligible. I wouldn't even go to so far as to say definitely eligible, but potentially eligible for that program, which leaves a lot of students still not being served. So I think the programs both do a beautiful job of serving unique populations, but they are not fully overlapped populations. And I think that's important. And I'm not saying anything that you don't know. And I will also say the same is true across Da Vinci schools, where we frequently encounter students who are in our other schools and have a factor in their life that our schools are struggling with how to address that need. And the answer is not, you need to go to another school, RISE. The answer is we need expertise on this particular need that we haven't developed within that school. And the RISE staff, including Erin, including Naomi, collaboration between the teachers and counselors and staff are able to share practices, resources, strategies, step in and support each other in ways that are really important. So I would say that overlap happens in each of the schools, but it is not exclusively, a complete overlap and makes the one obsolete.
Board, if I can.
Hi.
Yeah, good to meet everyone. My name is Dr. Lynn Rodriguez. I'm the Director of Special Education for Da Vinci Schools. And as my co-partner here, Kim, will tell you, Success Learning Center is a specific school for a population of students that primarily have IEPs. And Da Vinci Rise is a general education program. It might be that 21%, as you see here, of our students have IEPs, but they're around general education students as well, who just have barriers in their lives that we're working to overcome. So while Success Learning Center is specifically for students solely with IEPs, Da Vinci Rise is an independent study program that supports all of learners.
Thank you. I have one other question, which is about the Youth Build program. So it seems like a slightly different tack than all of these wonderful things that we've been talking about, to add the Youth Build program which seems to be the cornerstone of your being able to come back into our district and our ability to reauthorize you. Sorry, my kids are calling me. Speaking of children. And so I just want to make sure I understand when the Youth Build program comes online, or when it's something that you guys can actually join, or have you joined, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I feel like there was two parts to the question.
Yeah.
So the designation to serve outside of geographic boundaries is actually originally offered by WIOA partnership, which is one of the lists that Greta said. So that's already that is in place. That MOU is in place. However, for separate reasons, Da Vinci Rise is very interested in partnering with Youth Build as a mission, vision aligned organization that does what we do, but really, really well, and specialized in this population, which is CTE re-engagement through career corrected learning. So we are invested in creating that partnership, which will be done by next school year.
Okay. So there's two different designations.
So there's two programs that provide that same geographic exemption. One is WIOA, which is already in existence at Connect, completely separate, and also at Rise. And it is at both at Connect and at Rise. And now we're seeking partnership with Youth Build. That will be ready for next school year.
And actually, our MOU with WIOA is for all Da Vinci schools. And so it allows us to provide that programming to any student in any of our schools.
And so you're already providing, but just to be clear, you guys are already providing WIOA programming to existing RISE students currently?
And that will continue, and the Youth Build is in addition to,
That's
because of the focus of what they offer.
Re-engagement, career connect learning. That's correct.
Michelle or Nelson?
One question. First of all, Michelle, thank you for the presentation. Appreciate the openness and transparency of the slides. Going back and following along the comments that both Roger and Neil had, I just want to understand it a little better because it's a new development for the board that we did not know that Da Vinci withdrew that proposal to LA County Office of Education. And explain a little bit, it sounds like you're going from multiple sites to 1 or 2 sites. Where are those sites?
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you're looking to serve a smaller pool of students. And are you looking to serve a smaller geographical district, I guess, or region of students? If you can just talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so the initial petition for RISE, when it had to move away from this board years ago, had to establish, and it was within the vision of RISE at the time, to create a vast network of RISE campuses across LA County. And it was built on the supposition that particularly housing unstable students or transient students could then engage in learning at a RISE campus, kind of wherever they are. And that was the vision. And over time, what the school learned is that that was actually not really happening for students, and they would have to create a really expansive network of schools in order to truly accomplish that, which would obviously quite dilute the efforts and be, quite frankly, I believe, unsustainable. And so over time, they started focusing on fewer, better campuses. And LACO was okay with that, but continued to express a concern that that's not what a countywide charter is supposed to do. And as mentioned by Greta, they're receiving increasing pressure to enforce the countywide charter requirements of having all of these campuses. And that's been a point of conversation over several of these meetings with them, where they've said, you know, you're having only 2 campuses is not really fulfilling the requirements of a countywide charter. But RISE does not want to open more campuses and dilute itself, and just to fill that mission that isn't serving its kids the way that I thought it was. So they have, you asked the geographic locations of the current campus. So they have a campus co-located at Richstone Family Center in Hawthorne, so quite nearby. And that's where the majority of Wiseburn students end up receiving their instruction when they come to RISE. And they also have a campus co-located with a place called Home, and that's in South Los Angeles.
We also made a decision to close a site called New Earth in the Culver City area. They moved locations there. We're not able to get required occupancy, and it would have been quite expensive, and we made a decision to be fiscally responsible. So that's why in that case we went from 3 sites to 2.
And just follow up on, what do you envision in terms of the number of students that you're going to serve at both locations in terms of total students?
Yeah, our current attendance is around 160, and that feels like a sustainable number of students to support, and it's proven financially sustainable, which I think it took us a while to figure out if that was true. That's a small number of students for an exclusive program. And we have found over the years that that is a sustainable model. And so we are not trying to grow that. We want to just sustain good programming.
Wendy told me I have to speak into the mic. So just as a reminder, if the current locations are probably at full size, and should we feel a need to expand enrollment, we would have to come back before the board to get your permission. So.
Thank you.
And we have no plans to increase enrollment anytime soon.
Thank you. Any other questions? I'm going to go. It is 7:13. I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing on the Da Vinci Rise material revision and thank everyone for attending today and everyone for your comments. We definitely have a lot to think about and consider as we need to deliberate and move forward. So again, thank you for joining us, and we are going to continue on our agenda item with our next item, also for public comments. But I believe there was a request from a colleague to take 5 minutes before we do that, or do we want to take all public comments first and then break? Okay, great. All right, so we will be continuing on with public comments. So for those following online, actually, that's not accurate. Item 6.2, before we go into the other public comments, we have another public hearing, which is item 6.2, and it is the notice to increase of school facilities developer fees. I'm going to go ahead and open that public hearing at 7:14. Blake, if you'd like to make any comments, or or do we have anybody that has comments? There was no card filled out specifically for that public hearing. Yeah. I do have 4 other public comment cards, but based on the topic, it is not related to that public hearing.
You said there's no card for
the public hearing related to developer fees, but I do have 4 cards. Blanca Bastian, Bertie Brown, Calvin Brown, and then also Jerry Wan. So I will be calling those separately, unless those comments are related to the public hearing for developer fees.
So Jason, could we, if we're gonna do that, could we bring, is it Kevin? Who? Rob, I wasn't even close. Rob, can we bring him over?
He's moved over.
Rob, can you hear us?
Okay, great.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, Rob, I think the question would be really just kind of where we were with our developer fees and what we're bringing it to, pretty simply.
Sounds good. So it was a relatively modest increase this year. Just quick context, every 2 years in even numbered years, the State Allocation Board assesses the cap of your statutory level 1 fees. This is what you would call routine maintenance of that. The increase for residential fees went from $5.17 per square foot to $5.38 per square foot. Commercial industrial square footage rate increased from 84 cents to 87 cents. But just standard best practice to make sure that you're adopting a study to show justification for those statutory fees every 2 years when they go up.
Thank you, Rob. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments from any members of the board during the public hearing?
This is just consistent with Southern California schools, everyone.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close that public hearing at 7:16 p.m. Now we will go to public comments, items that are not on the agenda. And our first speaker is Blanca Bastian, and you do have 3 minutes for this item. And subject to the Brown Act, we cannot comment on any of the public's comments being brought forward today from the public. So please, Blanca, if you would, please.
She stepped out.
Okay, I'm going to put that one forth in case she comes back. Our next speaker is Bertie Brown. Welcome. You have 3 minutes, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, board, superintendent, and community. I'm here to talk about the after-school tennis program and why our rate has jumped from $40 to $100 an hour. And we're getting so much feedback from the parents. My husband has been involved in this program for 17 years with the Wiseburn School District. My daughter went here. And the reason why my daughter went here, we lived in Hawthorne, and someone my husband's brother said that find out what the schools offer that is different. And it was a tennis program. Hawthorne didn't have a after-school tennis program for elementary children. So we were able to get released from the Hawthorne school district and was able to come to Wiseburn because my husband, Kelvin Brown, runs your after-school tennis program here. And we were able to pass that information along, and you had more enrollments. Wiseburn School District offered so much more than our home school district did. As far as even the education level, my daughter excelled so well. And after that, being a part of the tennis program, she continued. Unfortunately, we had to go to Palos Verdes Unified School District. She joined their tennis program. And from there, she went to El Camino and they won state championship. So the tennis program is not just for the kids to just play and move on. They play and move on. They use this as a tool, the parents do, for them to get scholarships, to get involved in other activities. A tennis is a lifelong game, not like football, basketball, soccer. You can be 100 and play tennis. Just stand still. That's all you would have to do. And my husband has strong values to the community. He loves the community. We've even had him in our home. We believe that this tennis program should be affordable for all the community, for the Wiseburn School District. The parents now have two kids, one in soccer, one in tennis. I mean, they're coming to the part where, honey, you can't play soccer this semester because the tennis program has jumped up so much and we just have to go back and forth. But before, we didn't have to do that. We were advised a long time ago, we don't look for huge profits. We just want the parents to be able to afford an activity that's available on their own site. We use the blacktop, which my husband will explain that part of this session with you guys. And it's no expense to the board or to the district. We pay for everything. So thank you so much. And my husband will continue with the rest of it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Kevin Brown. Welcome.
This is my forte. I'm used to giving instructions and trying to coach. But first, giving honor to God, to the board, to Dr. Silvers, and everyone here in attendance. My name is Kelvin Brown. I'm with the United States Professional Tennis Association. I am a certified instructor. Over the past 17 years, I have been here with the Wiseburn Youth School District. I was invited by the PTA, I believe in 2009. I'm very passionate about this game. I've been doing it over 50 years, teaching it over 49 years. In that time, my goal was to always try to introduce not just kids, but the parents and anyone in the community to the game that I love, to give them a path. In that 17 years, I can say that Wiseburn School District, you have South Bay double champions coming out of your district. You have national players coming out of your district. You have state champions coming out of your district. And I'm here as far as the rate increase. I'm in negotiation and trying to lower it, but at the present time, my parents are bombarding me because I had to tell them something that I can't do this at the rate that I'm being charged. From my understanding, I'm asking if there's some type of way in the form of the special rating can be done, so that we can continue and be able not to kick my rates up to where it would have to go off to the parents. As far as the blacktop and things of those natures, we're not asking for your electricity. We're not asking for maintenance, for cleaning anything. I supply the parents with the rackets so they don't have to invest in it. We supply you with the nets, the balls, the training equipment. You probably can hear the passion inside my voice you know, and the sadness that I'm feeling, you know, because I would hate to lose this program. But even if I continue right now, I would have to cancel 2 schools. And that's something that I don't want to do, you know. And I'm asking you and whoever, you know, to really seriously look at that. I don't have a problem paying a cost, but I would like if it can be done in a way where I don't have to put it on my parents. That's basically all I would have to say, you know, as far as the subject matter, you know. So I just actually seriously give it some kind of consideration. I'm not special, but I am special. Everybody is special, you know, but you know, I'm a down to earth individual. I'm not that articulate, this person, that person. I shoot from the hip. I mean no harm. You know, I'm a happy-go-lucky. I'm a tennis player. And if you play tennis, as you know, it has love in it. You know, and that's all I'm doing with my kids. Just to let you know, in some cases with some of my kids, as you guys, no one know unless you are told. I'm with some of my kids that's been with me since kinder. They're now 20, 30 years old. We meet and we have lunch together. And we reminisce about them being from elementary, junior high, and what they're doing in their lives now. I would hate to cut all that. I hope it's not being said as a threat. No, I'm just being candid and very upfront. I would not be able to. What schools I would have to cut, what kinders, what first, second graders I would have to cut, then that would be a wrestle for me, like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker is Jerry Wan. And the topic is Dale Air PTA and Wiseburn Little League.
Updates.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Adding 2 things to what I wanted to share. My kids have been with Coach Brown, both in the Hawthorne City program and at Dale Air. And frankly, I'm shocked that he was being charged in the first place. And so he adds so much value to not just the community, but to the kids. And so his passion is there. And so I know it doesn't really mean what I say, but give him whatever he wants. It really, really does add value to our program and also a bonus after school program for many of our parents. And an hour and a half ago, I had no idea about the RISE program, but I'm glad I stayed and learned about it. And so you gonna have a very tough decision ahead of you. Wanted to share some quick updates on the baseball and on the Dale Air side. On the baseball side, we had a great successful hit-a-thon. We raised more than $37,000, got a lot of community partnerships. That was a little shy of our goal, but we had a few extra partners. LA Dodger Foundation gifted us some tickets, so we were able to raise some money with that. This weekend, we are actually doing something really special for the first time. We're in the inaugural, what we're calling the LAX Cup. We are doing a weekend-long series between the Wiseburn Little League and the Westchester Little League, with LAX in the middle, so we are calling it the LAX Cup. Every one of our teams in the AA, AAA, and Majors division will play every one of their teams. Winners get 2 points, ties get 1, so sort of in a Ryder Cup fashion. At the end of the day on Sunday, one of us gets to take a trophy home, and everybody gets to celebrate. And so to make it a little bit more fun, to kick off every game, a younger sibling of the home team's players will throw out the first pitch. And so if you, for not just the board, but for anybody, we'll be at the middle school and Da Vinci Connect field all weekend. Cool, so we invite you to join. On the PTA front, at Dale Air, we had our elections. We are really excited to continue in the leadership of our president, Stephanie Anthony, in her second year, and really excited actually to add 8 new parents to the board. And so we're really excited to have fresh perspectives and fresh volunteer hours and new energy to what we're doing. And we also understand that over the spring break, we had the job opening posted for our principal, and that has since closed. I thank you for providing an opportunity for parents to share their opinions. And here to reiterate, I sometimes speak for myself, but hopefully speak for other parents as well. We want to have a voice in who leads our students in our school. I've shared my concerns about the instability of our students' experiences. 5th grade, my kid will have 4 principals at a minimum in his 6 years there, and we don't think that's a good thing. We also want to make sure that as our district and our community evolves and continues to change, that this person understands not just the technical and academic know-how of how to lead a school, but understands that we're so unique in who we represent, the languages that are spoken, how we pray, how we worship, where do we live. And that person really needs to understand that he or she represents every single person in our community. And so I'm 8 seconds. I'm never done early. Okay, real quick. Our parking lot is a mess. It is a huge safety concern, both from the parents and the teachers. I don't go into the parking lot anymore. Teachers have been cussed out. We really need to do something about establishing order and decorum in our teachers' parking lot.
Is that the Delaware?
Yes,
For clarity.
correct. There's constantly multiple valet lines. People don't follow the rules. Non-ADA placard folks park there. The parking lot is designated for staff. Parents don't care. They make their kids get out of their cars on the street. Yell at, Michelle lives across the street. She understands. And we don't engage because I've been cussed out and principals have been cussed out. And so in our purpose of our own safety, we try to avoid it because that's not what I want to do. And so, but in any case, we've noted it as a concern to the last two principals, this one too. So including Mrs. Scora. And so in any case, I will talk more about that next time I'm here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jerry. Do you want to come back to the last card that we received? Miss Blanca Bastian, did she come back? Okay, she did not. So that concludes all of the public comments for today. So we are going to take a 5-minute recess and we'll resume at 7:35. We're just going to wait a minute for our district superintendent and we will get started. And here he is.
I didn't say that.
So for all those in the audience, one of our board members,
left the tracking device.
one of our board members, Rebecca, had to leave. So she will be joining us a little bit later today, I believe in the evening for our second closed session. But she had to leave for family matters and she will join us at closed session. Our next item for those following online and obviously those present is a special presentation under item 8.1. Going to go ahead and call Lisa. If you would please come on up for an update on Wiseburn Middle School.
So Lisa, could I just to introduce, sorry, Mr. Banuelos, I know that the students said that they want these chairs in the classrooms for the next. I'm just kidding. Thank you for being so patient. Thank you for being so patient, guys. Thanks so much.
We are encouraging them to come to the next school board meeting to do public comment on the chairs and on the seating in the boardroom. But we're just very grateful to be here this evening to share with you an update on Wiseburn Middle School. We were able to be here in the fall, and we'd like just to provide an update about how the school year has been going so far. So I am going to share about a couple of things. I'm going to give you updates a little bit on reading and math, and then we're going to get into student wellness and safety. So a little bit about academic updates, and then we are going to spend some time just talking about how we've been focusing on building our campus community and culture at WMS this school year. So you'll see our mission statement, which is together, we empower a community of kindness and personal growth. It's something we take seriously. We've been thinking a lot about building community, both among our students, but also with our families, with our community. And it's been at the forefront of our attention this year, and we're excited to share a little bit more about that with you this evening. So a bit of academic updates. This is a slide, and to kind of, and I don't have a pointer, so I'm sorry. I'm going to draw your attention to the chart on the right. So if you recall, the last time we were here, we shared our beginning of year. That is the column that's under BOY. Results from our iReady diagnostic that we took right at the start of the school year. And if you recall, our goal was to move by the end of the year, 10% of students out of that bottom category, where we were at 37%. We want to move 10% out of that, so go down 10%. And then we want to move 10% into the at or above categories. So at the middle of the year assessment, we were 7% of the way to that goal of moving students up out of the bottom. And we were 6% ahead in the top. So that's great at the middle of the year. So we are hopeful that at the end of the year, we will have met that goal of 10% growth. We will be taking our last iReady actually in just a couple of weeks because we made the decision to do it ahead of state testing. So we'd have one more data point before we head into CASP testing later on in May. So that's a little update on our reading. Similar in math. So if you look at the beginning of the year, we had 35% of students who were 2 or more grade levels below. That is at the middle of the year that we took at the very beginning of February was down to 26%. So we were grateful to see that 9% fewer students in that bottom category. And then at or above, we began our year at 27% and we had moved to 34%. We've got work to do, but we know it doesn't happen overnight. We are doing things this year, but we are also really looking ahead to next year. And we'll talk about some of those things on this next slide. So we do have a math adoption that is in progress right now that you know about, and you've gotten updates, I believe, from Maggie and from Holly on at other board meetings. So we have completed the first pilot, which was of Amplify. That happened the first in like basically in our 3rd quarter of the school year, and we are beginning our next pilot, which is Eureka, that is starting right now, with the hope that we will have a decision about a new curriculum adoption to go into the next school year. So we're very excited about that, about having updated curricular materials for all of our teachers, our math teachers. I just have to give them a shout out. They have been really wonderful. We are really this is a rigorous pace for this pilot, and they have just been very, very willing and flexible, and I'm very grateful to have them. A little bit of an update on our professional learning community progress. So I've been working really closely, and I'm just I could talk for an hour, but I won't, about all of the work that our Guiding Coalition has been doing to really start to reflect and build cohesion around our instructional practices. So one thing that we did, and this came directly from working with our teacher leadership team, is we have built something called PLC trackers. So we really wanted to emphasize the importance of collaboration around instruction, and that no teacher should be instructing in a silo without talking to others. And thankfully, we have people on our Guiding Coalition who represent PE, who represent special education. And those teachers don't always have an exact planning partner during their planning period. And they said, we need to collaborate too. So we built this structure, and it's basically asking all of our teachers to make sure that they are having a collaborative conversation around instruction at least once a week, focused on one of the 4 PLC questions, which is, what do we want students to know and be able to do? How will we know if they've gotten it? What are we going to do if they're not getting it? And what are we going to do for those who already have it? Whether you teach art or whether you teach math, whatever, to be talking with other people about instruction and how you're planning to move forward, because it's always good to get feedback from others. And that was important to us. So that's one of the things that we have put into place this school year. We also worked really, really hard on building the template. You see a sample up here. This is called our progression ladder. And the sample you see up here is from 6th grade science, but we built it together in our Guiding Coalition, and every single department is using the exact same format now, because we thought it was very important that we be able to have the same conversations across departments. And basically what it is each department has decided on their essential standards, the things that are most critical for students to learn in that course at that grade level. And we take the time to really build out what exactly do students need to be able to show that they can do to demonstrate proficiency of that standard. So if you see at the bottom, there's things listed next to beginning. So those are the foundational pieces. How can students start to access that standard? Then what would it look like to be developing? And then finally, what do you really need to be able to show proficiency? And the goal here is that we continue to really make sure we are rigorous, that we are really making sure that proficiency means you are at that standard level. It's not being like watered down at all, that you really are showing mastery of that content. And our goal is for all of our departments to have completed these progressions for all of their essential standards by the end of this school year. So we're continuing that work in all of our department time. And I'm very proud of it. There was a lot of thought that went into every single piece of this. And it's something that we're looking to continue building on as we advance through the PLC process. We are focusing very much on connecting the work of the design team to reimagine our grading systems and how we are looking at student learning and deciding what proficiency looks like with our PLC process. So we're trying to just be very intentional that we're not portraying them as two separate things, but that really all of the work is cohesive and all of it is coming together to make us look more closely at what it means to demonstrate learning and to look at what and collaboratively about that. So everyone's basically speaking the same language and we're all rowing in the same direction at Weisburn Middle School. So that's our goal. So that's like the boring part of our presentation. I get very excited about it, but that's the, okay, so. Thank you, I hope so. Moving on to student wellness and safety. So it's a huge part of our school year. We really wanted to make sure, it's very important to me that we're focusing on continuing to grow Weisburn Middle School as a safe and supportive environment for our students. So we've had lots of things going on. We're about to have our 4th assembly. So we've had student assemblies on things like suicide awareness, substance abuse prevention, social media safety, standing up to hate. We've had additional learning opportunities for teachers and families. So we had a great family night about social media safety. We had online events about the substance abuse prevention for families that had over 70 clicks that we saw afterward that families had watched. We're really proud of that. I was able to go with Ms. Garcia and Ms. Glotz and Ms. Ray up to Sacramento to attend the statewide conference to end hate and inspire courage, which was wonderful. So we really are trying to grow. And without further ado, you can't grow a middle school campus without growing the liveliness of your students and their pride in their school. And so they asked me if they could have a walk-up song, and I had to say yes. And I don't know if there's ever been a walk-up song in this boardroom before, but today there will be. So please allow me to introduce our incredible Weisburn Middle School ASB officers.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. My name is Jaden Beal, and I am the ASB President.
Good morning. My name is Juliana Muniz, and I am the ASB Vice President.
Good evening. My name is Logan Smith. I am the ASB Secretary.
Good evening. I'm Samantha Sandoval, the ASB Treasurer.
I would like to start us off by talking about our Weisburn Middle School athletics program. This quarter, we have spring sports. Personally, I play boys volleyball and Samantha plays girls softball. This year, ASB has helped funded get new uniforms for all sports teams. I have heard from students that they really like the new uniforms and they feel more spirited to wear them. Sports at WMS are more than just competition. It's about community. Students come to see their friends play, parents come to see their students play, and even teachers come to see their students play. This helps us because step by step, we are building a bigger community for our whole school.
Next, I'm going to discuss the clubs available at WMS. At our school, we have a variety of clubs that encourage community involvement, making new friends, and finding your interests. As a former Friendship Club member, I can say that these clubs are a great opportunity to just have so much fun, learn new skills, and truly just explore your interests. For anyone who may not know what Friendship Club is, it is a program where 7th and 8th graders are chosen to go to either the Aviation or Holly Glen schools and participate in activities with the children there. In order to create a club, students must first come up with the club name and ideas, along with a brief description of what it will be about. Find a moderator or a staff member who is willing to oversee the club. Submit all those details to ASB, where we will process it and bring it up to the next meeting, where all the representatives at the meeting will have an opportunity to vote if they would like to approve or deny the club.
Third, I would like to talk about our candygrams. We do them for Winter and Valentine's Day. This is where the students are welcome to write a kind note to their friends, and we send them out with a kind gesture. Like for Winter, we give them candy canes, or for Valentine's Day, we give them like a little treat. And we get the money, and we also collaborate with PTSA to make the money. Then last year, we donated it to the fires to help them make more money.
A way our school came together to grow was through our Change for Charity drive. Each homeroom was encouraged to bring spare change or donations to support the Make-A-Wish Foundation. In total, our school raised $5,975, and all of that money was donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Some school and district activities that,
It happens all the time.
There we go.
Thank you. Some school and district activities that we at WMS have participated in are Literacy Week and We Are Wiseburn Week. During Literacy Week, ASB came together to create chalk art throughout campus, and part of this, we just wrote different recommendations for books and different genres, as well as motivation for students to continue reading and all the fun that comes with reading. We also had 2 spirit days, such as Reading Rocks My Socks Spirit Day and Dress as Your Favorite Book Character or Genre, in hopes to encourage reading throughout campus. During We Are Wiseburn Week, we also had great participation in the district-wide spirit days, such as Wiseburn Pride Day, Future Ready Day, Dress Like Your Teacher Day, Heritage Day, and School Spirit Day. Spirit days are a big part of our school culture. One of our biggest was Pink Out in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. ASB supported our fall sports teams by handing out pink shoelaces to our girls volleyball team, pink sweatbands to our cross country and flag football team. We recently had Team Color Challenge Day, where each grade was presented a color and expected to represent it. In addition, we've had fun days like Pajama Day, and coming up we have Famous Duo Day.
We would also like to talk about PTSA involvement. Every month we have Dolphin Spirit Days where our dolphins wear either their web shirts or blue colored shirts. Web is a club where you have to get handpicked to help 6th graders find their way around school throughout the year. We host events, and it's a very fun thing coming in as a 6th grader from my experiences. Next, I would like to talk about the student representation at the meetings. PTSA has meetings once a month, and students show up to discuss what they would like to do for us. And they ask us questions, and we answer them. Recently, we have had our amazing PTSA president, Ms. Rochelle, come to our ASB meetings and ask us questions for all our involvement and to have our voice, because she doesn't want us to feel left out and maybe choose choices that we don't really want. She wants us to have our voice and really empower our community and help each other. Building the partnership with each other is us and PTSA collaborating to do a lot. Like they bought all of us shirts, the whole school, so then we can have like a competition and everybody can wear them and see who wears the most shirts. And we also partner up for a lot of other things. We help them with the videos and promoting what they would like to do too. Thank you.
I'm just very grateful for our students. Really, everything they shared is about just increasing connection and belonging between parents and among students, and making sure everyone has a space, from creating clubs. The clubs are just so incredible, and really proud of all of the work. We're looking ahead toward next year to even expand things further. We have been, along with Ms. Jones, in conversation with Special Olympics to think about our sports programming becoming more inclusive at the middle school. We have 20 of our 8th graders are going on a walking field trip with myself and Ms. Mayberry next week to Belkin to participate in a career networking day. Our PTSA has just been incredible, and we're always brainstorming. So it's been an exciting year, and we hope that there's even brighter future ahead. So thank you for the time. We appreciate it. Thank you.
A couple of comments. I'd like to thank our ASB officers for doing such a great presentation, but also to acknowledge that by you being a part of ASB, you also increase and provide more opportunities for your colleagues and co-students there at Wiseburn Middle School. So if there's ever any items that you see, you're getting involved, and it creates an opportunity to create a better space, a better opportunity for all of the students there. So thank you for your leadership, because it takes a lot of commitment and some extra time as you are here at 7:55 presented to the board, but thank you tremendously by being here and for everything that you're doing to make your very own school that much better for you and for all the students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from the rest of the board?
I echo Roger's comments too. I just wanted to thank you for the wonderful presentation and the school spirit that you brought. I think you gave us a wonderful idea. And I mean, don't you think that Dr. Silvers needs a walk-up song? Right?
I think we have a group that can help with that.
The middle school students should pick it, so it could be a contest.
I've just never wanted to give a high five to a presenter more. So that was great job. Thank you. Ms. Wilbur, terrific. Are you the sponsor, Ms. Klotz, of ASB?
We're the co-ASB
Well, thank you
advisors.
both. Appreciate you.
And yeah, thank you. I just want to say thank you for the extra time that you put into that, giving a voice to the students. Engagement is what it's about. And I think that when you give students more opportunities to be involved and to feel engaged and empowered within their own space, you create leaders. And I do appreciate the effort that you do that. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm about your school. It really, really shines through, and I appreciate that and all of the information. So thank you very much and for all the effort across the board.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good luck.
So somebody has a tough act to follow, and next we are going to go to presentation number 3, and it is Measure EE Bond Update.
Definitely a hard.
Welcome, Noemi.
Mr. President, Noemi's coming up. Can we take another break?
See, and then they do that.
We have 15.
Can we go to the last slide, Jason?
All I know is that Noemi's song would have something about money in it.
Good point. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started.
Welcome,
Good evening, board members, members of the public that are still here, Dr. Silvers. It's a pleasure to be back and provide a construction update on projects that we recently completed, as well as those projects that are slated to start very soon. So we'll jump right in. We're very pleased to report that the Weisburn Sports Complex is technically 100% complete. We are just getting it ready for our ribbon cutting ceremony that's coming up. That is correct. We have 4 items that have our long lead that are coming in later, and I'll speak to that in just a second. But in terms of the actual punch list, we completed that ahead of schedule. So this is an accounting of all of the change orders that have come to the board or that are coming. I know we have one more coming tonight, amendment number 4, and that should wrap up this project. Oh, God. Oops. Of course, now I went too fast. Some of these pictures obviously are, they still show some of the work that is still pending. For example, where you see the WUSD, what's missing here, it's a long lead item that was supposed to have arrived, as a matter of fact, at the end of this week. We were just informed this afternoon. So around the letters, they call it Amico panels. It's a perforated metal panel, similar to what we have in the main entrance gates. I'm sure you've seen. It's decorative. It's not stopping us from, opening for a ribbon cutting. Of course, we were hoping to have it delivered and installed, but it didn't come through. Going to the next picture, as you can see, the field looks amazing. I'll go fairly quickly, so feel free to stop me. We recently completed a bond and oversight committee tour of all of our projects that we recently completed. We almost had full attendance, except 2 members that were unable to attend last minute. As you can see, we have a big group here. They were very pleased, very happy.
The logo's a bit small.
Yeah.
Where is that again?
We were joking that you could see it from space. Come on. Dugouts. The display here, digital display, is dual-sided. It looks distorted because it's from the camera, but once you're out there, it's crystal clear, beautiful resolution. Yes, thank you. Great catch. We have some, like I said, additional netting that's coming. We have the Amico panels, a last piece for the sound system. So there's a few things that are still pending for us to completely open the field. Here you can see a beautiful picture of this field. Absolutely love it. Great. I love how it looks with the lines.
Very professional. Looks great.
The committee members, when they poured it, they didn't realize that that's actually grass. They thought it was decomposed granite around the field.
Yeah,
But it's not. Uh-huh. They kept touching it. No, it's grass. It's turf. I'm sorry, turf. Here's the back of the concessions building and restrooms building. The larger opening there is the storage building with a garage door, restrooms. Here are batting cages. There was recently a question I haven't responded to, but I will. Wondering if we have included padding for these posts. We did not. When talking to the architect, they pointed out that there's an offset. The posts are offset, so they didn't feel that padding was necessary. Typically, you would pad them if it was within the netting, but it's not in this case. Something to keep in mind, but I did post the question. As you can see, our trees are no longer dormant, and everything's, with spring, it's looking beautifully now. This is a few pictures of our concessions building, our warming kitchen. It has not received final cleaning. As a matter of fact, it's scheduled to happen the day before our ribbon cutting. That way it can be thoroughly. I mean, they've done several cleans, but not the deep final clean. You can see here as well. Quite spacious. It is. It's quite spacious. There's a great ice machine there. It's not my fault this doesn't go faster. I'm trying to go fast. This is a picture of our overflow parking lot, completely striped and landscaped as well. As you can see at the end, right at the entrance actually of the parking lot, it has the rolling gate, motorized gate with door access controls that will be able to manage who accesses this lot. And it's intended to be used strictly for overflow purposes only. And last but not least, like I said, we have our ribbon cutting ceremony expected next Friday, 5 p.m. We welcome all community members to join us. Everyone's invited. We're going to have a taco truck from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
A lot of people there now.
I mean, I'm planning on a lot of people right now. So, and if you are planning to come, please RSVP. That way I can make sure we have plenty of food for everybody.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Back to the overflow lot really quickly.
Yes.
How does one enter? I know there's a gate. because I
Yes.
was looking through it the other day to go to out, but how would you get in? Would you go all the way around? How would you get into the?
Same gate. So it's the driveway. There's a driveway.
No, I'm talking about getting into the field itself, not into the parking lot.
Oh, yes. So again, it's an overflow parking. It's not intended to be open at all times. So when it is decided or determined that it needs to be open, then the gates here,
That side gate.
on the side gate would be open, unlocked. They're also on door access controls. Correct. No, you do not need to do that. You don't have to go all around either. Come on. Okay, moving on to our next project, the Holly Glen Kinder Yard. We finished the turf project as well. We removed the natural grass and replaced it with turf over spring break. We did experience some material delays. We almost didn't finish on time, but we were able to finish it on Monday, the day before school started. So we're very pleased, as you can see in this picture. They demolished it, removed all the grass. The second picture shows the gravel being laid and spread throughout the field, getting ready for compaction. The next picture shows the turf being rolled, and they're starting to prep it to work on the seams. They worked all day on Easter Sunday, just so you guys know. They were fully committed because of the delay in the material to work on Easter. So this picture was on Sunday. Come on. And this is what it looked like on Monday. It's a huge improvement. I mean, it looks beautiful, it's leveled, and it was finished on time. Okay, moving on to the next project, Del Air Soccer Field Replacement Project. Now, this is a summer, from here on, it'll be our summer 2026 projects. We are moving forward with an award to Hellas Construction under our piggyback bid. You'll see that on the agenda tonight for your consideration. We're planning to start this project on June 15th and be fully complete with this project by September 19th. And this is a picture of the current conditions. Now, you have to walk it to really understand its real condition. Sometimes pictures don't really.
It's like concrete, basically.
It is. It's very flat. And you'll see in some of these pictures where the turf, in comparison to what I just showed you at Holly Glen, where it's just fluffy and green. And I mean, this is completely flat and it's a safety hazard. Correct.
15 years that it's been.
Since 2014.
12 years.
Yeah.
It's got a 10-year life projected.
Mhm.
Do that another couple.
Couple months.
Couple days. The next project is Del Air Elementary School TK Playground Project, also a summer 2026 project where it's a combination of design bid build, where we're bidding the installation portion of the structure, and not only the equipment but the shade structure. And we are procuring the equipment from our CMAS contract. This bids are scheduled to come in May 4th, and we are planning to start this project on June 15th. Now, this is a close-up of the actual structure itself. It looks bigger than it is here. It's tiny, and I'll let you look at another picture where it has such a great space, but it's very small. So as part of this project, we are going to be replacing, we're going to be replacing the structure, the play structure, shade structure, as well as the turf. And here's a few renderings of what's going to come. I mentioned at the last board meeting that we are doing a trike route for the little ones. The small square to the, I provided a sample of our shade fabric. The site, the principal and the TK teachers all voted on what they wanted in terms of colors. And this is what was selected. So and you'll see it in the next picture. But the upper is the shade fabric. The other cream color is the metal post. And then the mixed colors is the pour and play rubber surface.
I mean, I'm not gonna make you go back.
Uh-huh.
But there's a big pole there in that playground area. Is there any way we can put pads there or something like that?
We can certainly look at that. Mhm. So this is essentially what it looks like.
And pads on those.
We can look at that. We don't have pads at Holly Glen, and we haven't had a need. There's a big distance from the actual post to the play area, but we'll look at that for sure. Moving on to our Del Air Elementary School. A lot of projects happening at Del Air, as you can see. Our flooring and ceiling tile refresh project. It's a piggyback bid, which you previously approved with Kaias, also starting June 15th and scheduled to be substantially complete on August 14th. Here's a breakdown of all of the buildings and the timeline. And here's the actual layout of everything that's going to get carpet versus the luxury vinyl tile. The logos, we're expecting 2 logos, one at the main lobby area and then one at the NPR. And you can see a picture of the logo for Del Air.
Is there also a logo in the soccer field? On the turf that we're about to replace?
No.
If you could look at that and we can, for consideration in terms of price.
Okay.
And get a quote so that we can take a look.
Sounds good.
Do you want a Del Air logo or a Weisberg?
Good question.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it later. They're gonna start.
Who's playing on the field?
Sure, it's the same size as a Wiseburn.
Yes, so the next project is the Wiseburn Middle School. Yes.
I think the logo, it was a like for like replacement on,
Right.
that's what we had them come out and do, just to rip and replace the current carpets. We just never even asked about that. So I guess, we could certainly.
If we could take a look at it, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. Our next summer project is the Wiseburn Middle School exterior painting project. This is the color palette that was selected, which is to replicate the concessions building, so that way they can be cohesive. And this is a picture of the existing, as you can see. Here's a few more. There's just a lot of block. As you can see, some of our signage has seen better days, so all of that signage will be removed.
Is the block gonna be painted?
Yes, like that. So it'll be white and gray and blue, and we'll refinish the letters. So it'll be a dark color. Otherwise, if we keep them light like they are now, the aluminum color, they'll just blend in with the white.
Assessor's approval over here.
It looks
No, I mean, is it the same painter throughout? Reason I ask is, my concern is the acceptance of the block as in the substrate because of the effervescence or efflorescence.
It's not the same painter because remember, one was through the sports complex and this is through a piggyback with Kaya. But this is what they do. I mean, they do a lot of.
The subcontractor that's gonna paint the block, there'll be a formal acceptance of the substrate.
Oh, absolutely. And there's, I mean,
Because
I'm
with
happy
paint,
to
as you know,
share.
it could bleed out.
Absolutely.
Issues that could happen.
And we're going to do a lot of prep work as well, a lot of power washing, as you can see in some of these pictures, even like the concrete seat walls are just completely stained. So there's going to be a lot of prep work and
Excellent, thank you.
and we'll make sure all of that is addressed here. Obviously, I couldn't get the distinguished school logos to pop through, but they're going to paint, that plan is to paint around them to make sure that they keep that, if that is the desire. Here you can see, I mean, that to me just makes a huge difference from what it is currently. And we're also going to be painting the M&O shop building, so everything will, and it's included in that price.
Okay.
Did I finish with that? Yay.
Thank you, Noemi.
Tough crowd.
No. We are on section 9, reports and information. Item 9.1, our board member reports. I'll start over on my right-hand side with Nelson.
Let's keep it short tonight. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to all the, well, to the presenters tonight and to the speakers. I really just appreciate the passion and the input that's taking place on all the different subject matters tonight. So just thank you. Appreciate that. That's it.
Thank you, Nelson. Michelle?
Same. Nights like this really reminds me what a community we are. And I love us all coming together, sharing our voices and sharing our concerns and being comfortable to be able to voice what we care about most. And so that means a lot to me. Had the opportunity to actually walk the Wiseburn Sports Complex. It was great. Thank you for taking the time. It was my spring break, so I was excited I got to do that during the day. And it is truly, truly beautiful. And it was one of those moments. It was a beautiful day too. So just really, really excited to be able to get out there. But thank you. Thank you for everybody.
Thank you, Michelle. Neil?
We have, and I'm gonna take one for Rebecca, since she's not here. We have a lot of resolutions, and I didn't want to just run them by, particularly because we have a resolution for School Principals Day and National Teachers Appreciation. And thank you, sincerely. None of this happens without the beautiful work of our administrators and our teachers, and those kids are all the proof you need to know it's working. So thank you very much for all you're doing. It's also National Speech Pathologist Day coming up. We have National School Nurse Day, Classified School Employees Week. Thank you for your support. And then a few other ethnicity recognitions. So these are worth taking a moment to say thank you, and I wanted to do that. On a separate note, it was my month with Roger and Blake, and I appreciate that from the Wiseburn Sports Complex tour, which we did after you, I'm afraid, or I was supposed to go with you, but I had to go later, so that was great. Aviation site visit was super fun and inspiring, and just some neat things happening there. We got to see the classrooms and the teachers again, and then speaking of classrooms and teachers, visiting the open house rather at Del Air, which was I think was that last night, 2 nights ago. Last night, yeah, and so much going on, and it was just fantastic. And this particular time, I got a chance to talk with almost all the teachers, which was great. But what really inspired me, and again, I went to any of the teachers are fantastic, the enthusiasm of the parents. It was just so great to see the parents like, thank you, it's so great. They see I was a board member, they came up, thank you. They don't know what I do, but who cares? They thank you. Yeah. We love this place, and what a great gift it is. And so thank you to all of our schools, all our teachers, and we really appreciate it. One last thing I do want to say, again, thank you for recognizing our speakers tonight. I want to do the same, and also do a shout out and a thank you for the time spent with Leslie Heimoff, one of the board members at Da Vinci, Tom Johnstone, a board member at Da Vinci Rise, and Michelle Rainey, who I had the chance to speak with all of them for a significant time over the past week. And I really appreciated their feedback and their thoughts and compliments on the transparent and vulnerable and forthright presentation this evening. And I give them lots of credit. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Wanted to comment also on our visit to Aviation Elementary School. I think it's wonderful when we have the opportunity to see a classroom in session. So I'll share a very brief story. It's really nice to see when the teacher asks a question of the students and half the room actually raises up their hand. And it goes also to like the confidence of our students and their engagement. Because I also recognize some students may be a little bit shy, different personalities. Doesn't necessarily mean that they don't know or they don't contribute, but it's so nice to see that energy, that enthusiasm in the classroom when half your class, when I went to school, it wasn't half, it was much, much less in terms of people or students raising up their hands. So thank you actually to all of our teachers for that openness and that engagement that we had an opportunity to see during our visit. The other visit we had is at Del Air Open House. Great opportunity as well to see this with all the parents and the community. It was pretty packed. I mean, those corridors you would think hold a lot of people, they do, but you had to squeeze by to get into the different classrooms. So it's nice to see parents, community members speaking to teachers, hearing about their rooms. Wonderful art projects all over. You can see the engagement as well. So thank you to all of our teachers and staff for the open house there at Del Air. There is, I did have an opportunity to also walk and see the Wiseburn Sports Complex before. That was on Friday of last week. I want to say thank you to the Wiseburn community for passing Measure EE. Wow. I mean, that is a long time coming in terms of such a wonderful project. So thank you to everybody that's really contributed to make that project happen. It does not happen by itself. I mean, there's probably hundreds of people that have contributed to make that project a reality. So you all know who you are, and come out to the ribbon cutting, because I'm definitely going to thank you as well in public. As best I can. There's probably hundreds, so I won't mention everybody by name, but definitely we'll look forward to congratulating and celebrating with everyone. It is a tremendous accomplishment. So that's all I have in terms of the public comments from our board. And we're going to move to our mathematics update. And Maggie, I'll turn it over to you.
Two exciting updates riding on our students at WMS and thanking our teachers. Like Ms. Wolberg mentioned, piloting a program is difficult. We're still doing our day-to-day. And so the continued learning and growth that our math team is reflecting on the needs for our students is awesome to see. And, rolling into spring break at the end of the year and trying tool number 2, we can't wait to bring our recommendation to all of you at the end of May. And I thank the team for really embracing Ms. Compton and, receiving really good feedback and leaning on her as a coach as well. And so she's been very present at the elementary level, but watching her build those relationships at the middle school is just fantastic to see. A really great data point is I do get funny emails from iReady, and we've been doing so much work with the onboarding of this new program. I do want to thank our kindergarten team because they actually did at the middle of the year the diagnostic and have begun using this program. And so a data point from the month of March is that 91% of our students used iReady mathematics instruction with an 89% pass rate of the lessons that they do. I mean, being a former teacher, one of the hardest things to do is to differentiate a lesson for students. Like, how do you make 5 lesson plans for all our different learners? Like, that's a hard task. We have this tool that helps meet our kids where we're at. And so seeing our teams and our teachers embracing it and those stats, like, we can't wait to see how we, embrace this program even more in the future. So thank you to all of our teachers.
Excellent, thank you. We'll stay on, actually on section 9.3 is district leadership reports. And I'm just gonna go from right to left, or my right here. And Maggie, if you have any different update, I'll just stay with you.
The update is next week. We have our second educational partners meeting, receiving feedback for our LCAP. So we're getting ready to close out year 2 for our LCAP. We really appreciate this team of community members, our teachers, our staff that do come out to change. I mean, we have our goals and our actions, and from this feedback and our metrics, we make changes to it. And so this is a fluid document, and working with this is going to be another wonderful experience. And that is on Tuesday night, the 21st. Yeah, right here in the board meeting.
Thank you, Maggie. Next we'll go to Kim.
Yeah. I just have a quick highlight. Next week is the annual CAC Community Advisory Committee Awards that is run through sponsored by our Southwest SELPA. And this is an opportunity for our families to be able to nominate people within the special education community within our district to recognize their excellence and their contribution. And this year we had 2 of our members be selected. We have Myra Figueroa, who is one of our speech pathologists that supports our preschool, and Holly Glenn TK, and Brandon Herrera, who is one of our district BCBAs. He's been recognized by our teams before, but this is coming from a parent. So they'll both be honored next week at a ceremony at North High in Torrance with all of our neighboring districts in our SELPA.
Excellent, thank you, Kim. Next we'll go to Marilyn.
I'd like to notify the board that during this quarterly reporting period, the district received 1 Williams complaint related to facilities. The complaint has been logged and is being addressed in accordance with Ed Code requirements.
All right, next we're going to go to Monique.
No updates from me tonight.
Okay, next we'll go to our assistant superintendent, Dr. Dougal.
Oh, you need the mic. I need the microphone. Yeah. She has no updates.
And we'll go to our superintendent.
Speaking on behalf
Well, I mean, rather than putting the mic over there.
All right.
For her.
I want to hear from her.
They should want to take the mic from him.
He has no updates.
He has no.
Yeah, but you just wish.
I think he does.
Actually, I don't have a whole lot. I do want to echo the sentiment, of the board. I had a chance to, I've become quite a tour guide of the sports complex, and I think every time it looks different. Every time it's just a special place. It really is going to be cool. It's not special enough yet though, because the kids aren't playing on it yet, and I mean, I think there's some events that are coming up. Da Vinci High School softball team is going to do their senior day. I was going to say senior night, senior day there, which is super awesome. I think they have a couple games scheduled there. The middle school will be taking over pretty soon here as well. I know Lisa and I had a chance to talk today about that. So just really, really cool things that are ahead of us there. Obviously, we have the grand opening, so that'll be really cool. Had a chance to do site walks. I know aviation was yesterday. Thanks Summer for her time and energy in that walk. That was really really helpful and really nice. We got to go see, sort of like a curated experience. So it was really nice to do that. And, sometimes when we walk on campuses, it's like, where do you go? And it's like, pick a door. So when there's a process, to walk through and kind of see things, it really, really makes a difference. So just super cool, just really great things going on at aviation, and just wanted to highlight that. Also had a chance to attend Eller's open house, as we talked about there. It's pretty magical. I mean, I will tell you, it's almost a traffic jam in those hallways as you're trying to get from one room to the other. And there's just, I mean, it seemed like just droves of people walking up and down those hallways. But just the classrooms looked fantastic. And I mean, from a visual standpoint, but also the interaction between the kids and, who they were with, the kids and the teachers, the parents and the teachers. I mean, it really, speaks such volumes for our really, really talented educators and the people that are there day in and day out working with the students, working with the families. Those are special days. And it was just a really nice event to kind of culminate, the school year for, it's not culminated yet, but you know what I mean. Just to kind of culminate the year for Del Air. So just really nice. Also want to share, we've had an opportunity I've had an opportunity, and I point to Monique because we've been doing tours and of our schools for prospective families. And I think you all in an update, I'm sorry, it just they run into each other, but I think it was the last update that you received a full analysis of all of our numbers, our permits, enrollment expectations, things like that. Just the work that goes into that is pretty extensive. And, one of the things as we get to this time of year that we are challenged with is, how many permits do you let in, knowing that, residents can sometimes be a little slower with registering because they don't really need, it's just part of the deal. We hope that they register early enough, but they don't have to. And so we're always kind of juggling how many students to accept, and you don't want to overshoot it, you don't want to undershoot it, so you're really trying to find this happy medium, and it's a challenge. But through those tours, a lot of the parents are super excited about it, and I literally 100% of the time there's comments on how nice our facilities look across the board. Even our oldest school at Aviation or at Del Air, that's had since 2002. Just really, really positive feedback from parents about the way that it looks, and a testament not only to our principals and teachers, but our custodial staff and our maintenance team that's out there every day making sure that those things are trash is picked up, and this is a heavy task. When you have a school of 500 plus students or 1,000 plus students at the middle school, bathrooms look great. I always say that you can tell a school by its bathroom. And, I mean that, and so it's just a testament to those people. And I just wanted to note that today, especially, we're celebrating classified employees, and, the work they do is amazing. So that's actually it for me today.
Thank you, Blake. Next, we're going to go to section 10, which are public comments items on the agenda. Have any other public comments on items that are on the agenda? Okay, thank you. Next is section 11. Is there a motion to approve item 11.1 for all items on consent, which would approve 11.1 through 11.14?
You have a motion.
Second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0. You. Section 12, action items. Item 12.1 is to approve CSEA and Wiseburn Unified School District tentative agreement for 2025-2026. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Enthusiastic second.
Second. I'm going to turn it over to, I believe Nisha does have comments on this one. All right.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I just want to take the opportunity to thank the CSEA negotiating team and Chapter 19 for their collaborative effort in getting to an agreement. It was a difficult year. Like I shared with WFA, everyone was a little uncomfortable on both sides, and that was a good thing that we were able to reach agreement. Similar to WFA's agreement with CSEA, members can expect a 2.5% ongoing settlement agreement, a 1% off schedule one time, as well as increase. CSEA has always had longevity amounts, but we want to recognize those that have been with Wiseburn for the longest. And so we did increase those longevity bonuses for them, as well as reaching a $10,000 cap for medical benefits, which is, we understand it's difficult right now with health benefits costs going up. And so we're, trying to keep up. And so that was a huge collaborative effort in getting to this agreement. So once again, just want to thank CSEA Chapter 19. And you'll be getting an email tomorrow with kind of next steps of when they can expect those payments.
Thank you to our district staff and of course CSEA as well for working through the process and being as collaborative as we all can be and going through the process. So thank you and looking forward to the next school year. So Neil,
Just a quick comment, and I want to just make sure I'm getting this right. This is in addition to, you've mentioned the 2.5, the 1% off schedule. We also have COLA. So all those combined add to more dollars for our staff. Yes. Didn't they get cost of living this?
No, this is the negotiation for that.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I was mistaken. Okay, thank you.
all right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries 4-0. Item 12.2 is to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Wiseburn Unified School District and Da Vinci Schools. Is there a motion to approve? Nelson, second. Michelle, any comments or questions, or
I have a comment. If I
turn it over to Blake before we go to the board?
Yeah, so this is the program transfer. As you know, we've been negotiating with Da Vinci Schools for, gosh, the better part of a year, if not longer, on them taking the 18 to 22 plus program that we had taken. And, I think it made sense at some point in our history, and it doesn't now. And so we're in this transfer process. They will be utilizing our facility. We did redo our facility, so the same, those students would have access to the pictures. You didn't see them today, but we have seen them with the apartment style learning space as well as a classroom space. So we're excited to offer them that space, and really thankful for the partnership with Da Vinci that they took that on as part of their high school program, which these students are technically high school students extended. That's all I have.
Any questions from the board?
But just again, thank you to Da Vinci.
Excellent. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Moving to section 13, action items for facilities. Item 13.1 is to award a public works contract for intrusion alarm project, Advanced Alarm and Fire Incorporated, to be paid out of developer fees. Is there a motion?
Motion. You have a second.
Any comments or questions? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0. 13.2, notice of completion and release of retention for bid number 2025-11 for the SLC Futures Relocation Project, Da Vinci Connect, with JR Universal Construction that was paid out of Measure EE bond funds. Is there a motion?
We have a motion since I'd like notice the completions.
A second?
Second.
Michelle, thank you. Any comments or questions or celebrations?
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you to the NEC team as well. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Mr. Banuelos, we did talk about a couple of these items, so we could take them in a block if you feel so inclined. 13.3 through 13.5 at least. Just a possibility.
I would like to do that with caveat that I would probably have a comment or two on the items, but
Okay.
I'd like to motion that. 13.3, I think, related to 13.7, correct?
Oh, 7, not 5. Okay. I think there'll be good. All right. I think there'll be some questions, but I have a motion to approve items 13.3 through 13.7, which I'll read at least a brief description in a moment. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. Okay, item 13.3 is to approve contract amendment number 4 for leaseback for our 135th and Aviation Sports Complex project with Erickson Hall. That's in the amount of $61,864. Item 13.4 is award of partial assignment of piggyback bid, providing and installing synthetic turf and related materials to Valley Precision Grading. 13.5 is award of contract for Wiseman Unified School District piggyback in 2024 for Dale Elementary School soccer field turf, which we had a presentation a little while ago in the amount of $934,000. 13.6 is amendment number 2 to the agreement for 135th and Aviation Sports Complex for additional geotechnical inspection services. That's roughly in the amount of $21,000. And item 13.7 is to award contract for campus modernization items from the Ardman piggyback agreement to Kaya, which is the exterior painting that we saw some pictures of a little while ago, in the amount of $799,401.77. Okay, any comments or questions? And I do see Cherie up here, so.
Yes, I have just one quick comment, 13.3, and I know it was, I think we've all walked the Wiseman Sports Complex. I'm glad to see that we added the netting there to kind of have more protection there on Aviation Boulevard. And I'm glad that, because I know there's been some comments from the community on the bleachers, so I'm glad we're adding bleachers. And I believe that's what this amendment is for. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And I think we're adding microphone too. So
That is
I'm
correct.
glad to see that. I know that came up as part of our walk, Blake, so I'm glad to see that. And then the other item, 13.5, and Blake, you correct me if my numbers are incorrect, but I just did want to recognize the partnership with AYSO we were going to replace the Del Air turf, and they set aside funds that I think pretty much covers almost 40% of that. So I appreciate that, somewhere close to that, but I'll let you, mention that. But I just wanted to recognize that the partnership and the contribution as we replace that field here 12 years later.
So I'm not a math person by nature, but it was 40,000 a year, and we were at 10 years. So, I guess you're about right.
Close.
Yeah, you're close.
You just appreciate that.
Yeah,
partnership.
absolutely.
And here we are, we got to replace the field, and it's pretty significant cost. So appreciate that partnership. And I know that you've also worked with the Little League and AYSOs but everybody else in terms of the upcoming fees for the maintenance of the facility.
Right.
And obviously we're very grateful for the community for the fields that we have and the wonderful facilities that we have, but there are some maintenance agreements that have been in place, not only in the past, but now moving forward.
Well, and the good news too is that, obviously this board would be the final, decision maker on MOUs with our local leagues. And I know, you all are familiar at least with this process, what we've done and how we've worked through it. But I think we're in a really, really awesome place right now with the leagues. Marty Lou's been really helpful in finalizing those deals. I shouldn't even say deals. They're not deals. I mean, we basically, are in partnership with the leagues, and they were able to, they'll be used in our fields. And so we'll be bringing those MOUs to this board at the next meeting on May 4th, hoping to get them started right after. But we're all in agreement, basically. It's just the formality of the process at this point. Yeah.
Thank you both and everybody involved in working with our communities, our community organizations that serve our kids. So thank you for that. And then, and Cherie, the last one is just a quick question. I just want to confirm because I think it's changed over the years, but all these piggyback contracts and all that have labor included. I want to just make sure. I know that you've probably gone through it because labor usually was excluded, but it seems like now we're included. Obviously, we have a few that we're approving tonight, whether it's the painting or flooring. So just that's been confirmed with our legal. I know that it's been confirmed by the piggyback contract with other districts and probably their legal counsel, but we feel comfortable within our legals kind of vetted that out.
Yes, so I do want to touch on, since you brought that up, on 2 points. One, if I may briefly, so 13.4 is awarding a partial reassignment of the current Wiseburn Unified School District's piggyback bid that was awarded to Valley Precision Grading. The reason for doing so is Tenkati has purchased Valley Precision Grading. They have also purchased Hellas, and they've also purchased Byram Davy. So internally, they have done a restructuring of which geographical locations each of those firms may offer their services to through the Wiseburn piggyback bid. Therefore, if we would not have done that, we would not have been able to contract directly with Hellas through the Wiseburn piggyback bid, and we would not have the benefit, nor would the piggyback bid no longer benefit Wiseburn for the use throughout the state of California. So we took it upon working with legal counsel to get that reassignment. We couldn't transfer it to Tenkati because Tenkati is not a general contractor. So it had to be reassigned to the 3 companies within the state of California for their use. So we, as the holding agency of that piggyback bid, can use the installation component, labor component, to its full capacity. We are not limited as the holding agency of that piggyback. When using other agencies' CMAS and or piggyback contracts, we are limited to a 10% threshold for incidentals. If labor is built in based on the itemized contracts or line items of those piggyback bids, as long as we're not exceeding that 10%, we're within the means to utilize those for full labor and installation.
So on 13.7, we're within that threshold. For
That is correct.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Thank
I
you.
have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries 4-0. Moving to section 14, fiscal. Item 14.1 is to adopt resolution number 25/26.34, which is the increase of school facilities developer fees, of which we had the public hearing earlier in the evening. Is there a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any further comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Section 15, action items on personnel. Item 15.1 is to approve job description and a salary schedule for a facilities attendant. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? Any comments or questions?
I just wanted to add, there's been a lot of talk this evening about the sports complex. And so another building that's opening, which means we will need to staff it. And so this is another collaboration with CSCA for a facilities attendant. Our goal is to ensure the sports complex is staffed with a Wiseburn employee at all times that it's open. So this job description would be to allow someone to be there Monday through Friday, as well as Saturdays and Sundays when the fields are used. And so our goal is to once again keep this in-house, keep it as one of our own employees. And so we're excited to have the board approve this job description.
Excellent. Thank you.
Just to add to, I think the cool thing about this is it's really not dependent on official use or scheduled use. So there's going to be times where no use will be there, but the gates will be open. There'll be a person there able to. I know there have been some comments. We've actually received some comments at board meetings over the years, about folks that want to be able to just walk across the street and throw a ball with a kid or kick a ball or whatever it is. So this gives us that opportunity to basically 7 days a week. That field will be open. So anyway, super cool. It's really exciting, actually. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries 4-0. We do have a need for a closed session, and before I adjourn this meeting, I do want to comment on upcoming dates and events. I have a list here. So the Wiseburn Education Foundation's Rock Around the Block is Saturday, April 25th. It is literally around the block, around the corner. So please mark your calendars to join us for that fantastic event that we have every year. And thank you to WEF for putting this on. It's a tremendous effort and really does help bring our community together. So thank you to WEF. Our next regular board meeting will be May 4th. It's a Monday, so it's a change in date. Upcoming open house is Holly Glen open house is Wednesday, May 13th. Definitely encourage everyone to attend the open house. I was very motivated after the Del Air open house, so please do attend as you can Holly Glen's open house. The subsequent regularly scheduled board meeting will be Thursday, May 28th at 5 p.m. That's all we have on the list here. Blake, did I miss any from our lists?
No, I was gonna hit Rock Around the Block, and you got it.
All right. Excellent. With that, I'm going to take a motion to adjourn for us to go to closed session.
You have a motion.
Motion second?
I did.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.